The world is coming undone. Imperial flags reign across the galaxy.
Can you be trusted without your shackles?
Let's just get this over with, shall we?
We've a mission for you. A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know how to destroy it.
If you're really doing this, I want to help.
Good.
Good. I've been recruiting for the rebellion for a long time.
We destroyed our home. I fight the Empire now.
I fear nothing. All is as the Force wills it.
The captain says you are a friend. I will not kill you.
Thanks. There isn't much time. Every day they grow stronger.
There is a 97.6% chance of failure.
He means well.
This is our chance to make a real difference. Are you with me?
All the way.
Yes, that's it.
Listen!
Live from the forest moon of Endor, Radio Free Endor, a Star Wars podcast, bringing you news and reviews from the galaxy far, far away.
It is a dark day for the people of the planet Jeddah. Apart from it being a desert moon and stuck in constant winter, it is also occupied by the Empire. And with a new deadly advanced weapon in the sky, things are only gonna get worse. Jyn Erso, a rebellion soldier and criminal, is about to experience her biggest challenge yet, when Mon Mothma sets her out on a mission to steal the plans for the Death Star. With help from the rebels, a master swordsman, and non-allied forces, Jyn will be fighting for something far bigger than she thinks.
Welcome to episode 8 of Radio Free Endor, and today it's Roundtable Time as we are discussing the new Rogue One trailer. Now, with me is Paul.
Hello.
And Jonathon.
Thanks for having me back.
And Jason W.Chrisman.
Hello.
We just can't seem to get rid of you, Jason. You're a fan favourite here, isn't he, Paul?
It's transglobal. He's following you around the world, isn't he?
I know. Right, guys, we all saw the trailer, didn't we?
Yep.
Many times.
Many times. How many times did you see it, Paul?
I've seen it probably half a dozen times now, so yeah, just 7 or 8 times, something like that.
I've seen it more times than I can count, actually.
Well, I have seen it about 9 or 10 times. I actually watched it. I sat there, watched it, and Nicky, who was in bed with me, kept going, "You finished watching it?" I was like, "I'm just trying to get into it. It's really good, really good." Right then, guys, initial thoughts. What did you think of it?
Yeah, it showed a lot more from what the first trailer did, but then again, it did go over again things that we'd seen in the previous trailer. The main thing was things like the weapons that were used, the U-wing, which looked awesome. The U-wing, I must admit. Yeah. So a few things. The new robot, is it the K2SO? the droid.
Yeah, played
H2SO.
by Alan Tudyk.
Which seems like quite a comical character. And yeah,
It's not the first time he's played a robot, though.
No. So yeah, we've seen more of the blind Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen.
Chirrut. Yeah, we've seen a lot more of that character.
Yes, he had a bit more of a speaking part. What do you guys reckon?
I think it really takes me back even more to what we saw in the original trilogy. You know, I mean, it's all new and brighter and better special effects, but overall, it just kind of takes me back just to see more of the Imperial cruisers. Is very, very cool.
What about you, Jason?
It really took me back too to the original trilogy. I know I love seeing the classic stormtroopers, and I love seeing the Death Star and the Star Destroyers, the original ones.
Yeah, I have to agree. That opening shot where you've got the Star Destroyer over the city, that looked amazing.
My first impression when I saw it was, how do they get those things that big to float in the atmosphere? Space is one thing, but how do they get them to float in the inside the atmosphere? That's weird.
This is the first time they're actually they're showing that kind of like technology in the films, because in the cartoon series of Clone Wars and Rebels, it's happening all the time.
Right.
And I think also in the video games. What do you reckon, Jonathan?
Very, very cool overall. Just to see all this like city life and such.
That's
all these ships and stuff.
That's one busy city. You can tell it's like a mass. It's like a total slum when I look at it. It's like,
but it's quite weird, isn't it, to see a Star Destroyer hanging out in the atmosphere? Maybe it's a local garrison on Jeddah or something, or watching other Jedi groupies or something like that.
It's pretty epic, though.
The look of that city, because I've just got the look of it on my PC, and you can see some dome structures that are very similar to the planet in Rebels. You see some of those structures, and also there's a massive what looks like a large temple structure sticking out. Now, we've both played Battlefront, haven't we, Paul?
Yes, we have. Yeah.
And there's a section in that game where you're playing the dogfights over Tatooine.
Yeah.
Now, if you look over into the scenery, there's actually structure looking just like this in that game. Yeah, I noticed. I thought to myself, that looks familiar. And so I went on to Battlefront this morning, and yeah, there is. It's very similar to it. It's not. Yeah. It's not it, but it's that kind of thing is in the Tatooine game. So that makes me think: is this concept art was originally drawn up for Star Wars for A New Hope?
I don't really know much about. I haven't really played the newer Battlefront, so.
All right, you played it, Jason.
Yeah, all the time.
yeah. Have you played the dogfight section where you're over Tatooine?
Yeah.
And you can see, in fact, I think that one of the levels where you're battling under the sandcrawler, the Jawa sandcrawler, if you go to the left of it, you can, where the edge of the map is, you can actually see the city there as well.
Right, I'm going to have to go back and take a look at that.
Now, also in this scene, you can also see some what look like Imperial ships taken off, where the wings are pointed up. I think a bit further in the trailer, you actually see one being blown up. Right, you see a couple of them landing and taken off as well.
They're quite big, aren't they? They look like either carriers or something like that, you know what I mean?
Troop carriers, yeah. Could be troop carriers. And also, do you know when you first see the first appearance of Forrest Whitaker's character, Saw Garrett? Now, he looks broken. He looks like a proper broken man.
He does. He needs an haircut. I know that, yeah.
Yeah.
Saw Gerrera, isn't it? Yeah.
I think he's perfect fit for that. And his lazy eye helps the role too. I think a little bit, right? So
yeah. I think the shot does look like it's post-fight of some kind, doesn't it? It's seen some action, shall we say?
Yeah, and if you remember, Jonathan, when we did the roundtable for the teaser trailer, the section with Forrest Whitaker in that, his head was shaved, and he looked kind of a bit more chubbier in the face. Well, this one, it looks like he starved himself, and they've really aged him, and he looks generally broken. So you're right, Jason. Yeah, Jason, with his lazy eye and his gimbal leg, it really does look like a broken man that is lost everything.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely like, he's been through the Clone Wars, and he's basically just, he's basically, I'm just too old for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
He does definitely look broken and just trying to, it seems like it's like a carrying over of the torch or something. So you have like this younger Jyn Erso talking to this, old veteran, as like a, as a mentor of some sorts. It would seem.
He's our Obi-Wan insert for this movie, probably.
Is he the wise old mystic?
He's the wise old guy, since we don't have Jedis in this one.
Do we?
He's definitely taking on the role of the wise old rebel.
He is like a guerrilla fighter, and in the resistance, you could say, against the Empire. So he's been fighting for a very long time. Because in the Clone Wars, he was a very young character, where here he's a very old character, sort of thing. So yeah, you're right. It also, for the trailer, also then goes into the scenes that we've seen before from the previous trailer. Apart from when that guy says to her,
Can you be trusted without your shackles?
Let's just get this over with, shall we?
that bit of footage is still the same.
I mean, obviously the Alliance, it looks like the Alliance don't trust her. But like I say, they're willing to give her an assignment, and probably it's something to do with Mads Mikkelsen's character. It's Galen Erso. He obviously was involved with the Death Star project, wasn't he? So,
if you've seen online, guys, there was a bit where he's actually been talking about his character, and he said basically that his character was involved in the technology to create the super weapon. Now, also, that this planet Jeddah is very sacred to the Jedi, isn't it? And it's the mecca for the Jedi. Some are also saying online that this place is where the crystals for the lightsabers are produced,
harvested.
Yeah, harvested. So this could be the crystals that could power the Death Star for its main weapon, and that's why it could literally just cut through a solid planet in one go.
And so we're talking about the planet in the opening scene, you're saying?
Yes.
So then that temple could very well be an old Jedi temple then.
It could be,
Yeah, it could be.
Now, Donnie Yen's character, Chirrut, he's a Force-sensitive character, but he's not a Force wielder. But I bet you as you watch it, you'll be thinking, he has got the Force in him, because even in this trailer, you see him dodge some laser bolts. So he's got that,
Well, one just misses Jin, doesn't it? The first shot misses Jin, and and then he ends up decking about 12 of them. Doesn't he?
I love that statement he says.
I fear nothing. All is as the Force wills it.
To me, I thought, ooh, that gave me chills. That did, guys. Give me chills.
I guess I was going to say it's just really cool to see, like, we know in Rebels where it's like, Ezra's like, it's only you and me as like the Jedi, and we still don't know what the status is of the Rebels. I will be curious as far as what season 3 will be like, and whether that'll be the end and how it will connect with this. Yeah, and especially including like the remnants of the Jedi, and see what kind of connection he's had. Just talking about the Jedi, maybe he's had some kind of Jedi brother or some kind of relationship that he would just become fascinated with the Force, instead of, kyber crystals aren't exactly, growing on trees, so
don't they have to be mined? Or if the regular person goes down to the crystals, they all look the same, yet to a Jedi, some resonate different, don't they, to the others? If I can remember my Clone Wars right, some resonate
they call to them, call to their specific. Did anyone else notice that every time we see Mon Mothra, she's always standing in front of, the plans area?
Mission control,
Yeah, what are those plans?
She's always standing in front of a podium, it seems like.
Well, see, the thing is that, kind of like how Grandma Tarkin, he would just wear slippers, because he didn't like the shoes, so...
Yeah, you're right,
Maybe she's wearing slippers, or maybe she's barefoot, maybe she's, I don't know, standing on like a yoga mat, I don't know. Just some kind
I see her elsewhere in the movie other than, at this base station talking to her, so...
I think you will see more of her because, if I remember rightly, Jimmy Smits has confirmed that he's in it as Bail Organa. And so I bet there's going to be some kind of meeting with them two in it. It'd be great to see him in it. I was hoping to see him in this trailer, actually.
Yeah, that's a really great connection to the prequels.
Just see the end of it. She says, Bale, stay here and have dinner with us. Oh, no, I've just got to go back to Alderaan, to just finish up some paperwork. What could possibly happen? Yeah.
We blow you up.
I really, 30 seconds into the trailer, I really love seeing the grand scale of the Death Star next to those Star Destroyers. I didn't realize it was that big. I've been looking at this Star Destroyer here in the first 30 seconds, and I am just amazed at the detail they put into this thing. I mean, coming out of the shadow like it is right there, I'm getting inspired for my next print here. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah. You mean just where the nose comes out and then the shadow casts and draws back over it? Yeah.
If you look behind, the detail on the Death Star itself. You can see all the little ridges and all the little the windows and everything.
Well, one thing I like to mention is that I just Google searched Death Star, and really, for the most part, it's just like in the background. They don't get as up close as in this trailer, because if you just search New Hope, it's all kind of in the distance, and then you get like super close on the trench run. But here we actually get to see a different side of it. It's not super far away, but then it's not like in the trenches. We get to see a better scale of such, seeing this dish go in. Because before, it was just like, it's the late 70s. They can do a lot.
Yeah.
But now you can do so much more.
I think it just kind of brings it a bit more to life, doesn't it? Now,
for sure,
being that close up and just the immensity of it. Yeah.
Especially when you look at the scene where you've got the Star Destroyers, and you can see one that's really close to the actual dish being put in,
and it's
really tiny.
Yeah.
It's really tiny, and you can see, the gears or parts of the weapon. They're humongous.
Yeah.
They are just like massive.
Yeah, it's pretty massive.
It is. It's impressive.
When you think it's got to be capable of destroying a complete star, then it's going to be massive, isn't it?
Now, funny enough, Jonathan, when you were saying it's nice to see the Death Star, in an alternative way. A bit further in the trailer, did you see that bit where you can see the Death Star actually hovering above the planet, and you can the dish is upside down?
Yeah, very, very cool. So it kind of gives the scale of like, that in space there isn't really a up, down, left, right. It's just like it's like it's hard for us to wrap our minds around it, but it's like there's not really it doesn't really make a difference of where it is. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's just that it depends on where you are in the planet, because because all the people at the bottom could have the same feeling of being at the top.
Obviously, it's the Death Star that's causing this eclipse, isn't it, as well? So
I just hope that every time I see eclipse now, I get that in my ears. Oh my God, it's the Death Star!
My question is, how do they get the Death Star to go from system to system?
Yeah, what is that? You know what I mean? They don't say. You know what I mean? Oh, we're next on the hit list for the Death Star. It'll take hundreds of thousands of years to get.
Right. So where's
its engines
drive on this thing? Is my guess is at the bottom, and we can almost kind of see it in that upside down shot. But it's in the shadows there. Maybe so you can't quite see it, but that's my interpretation of it. So. It's got to be.
I'm searching like how does the Death Star move, and there's different different ways of explaining, and all sorts of crazy. So how did the Death Star move? Gives you like a blueprint, and just trying to figure it out.
Surprised it's not like some centre of gravity the size of it there.
Now, you're right with the eclipse scene as well, because you notice the eclipse is exactly on that scene above that city.
Yeah.
And if you look at that scene with the eclipse, it looks like a church. The city looks like an old church.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wonder if they've done that on purpose for the Jedi. Now I'm looking at it. Ben Mendelsohn, he really does look menacing in this film. And you see when he was walking towards the view screen, those people, man, they're just rushing past him like, quick. Do you think they deliberately got dark stormtroopers in that scene because it's a very dark area, so they don't want to, if somebody walks in there and says, who's the guy in charge? The guy in white, and he goes straight over to a white stormtrooper. Hey, you in charge? No, I'm not in charge. He's in charge.
It's the other white guy.
The other white guy.
Well, what do you mean? What kind of white? You mean like armor? You mean like this? I don't want to.
That's a nice.
Oh no.
Politically
You mean
correctness.
white? He is white, and he has white clothes.
And he's got the cloak. He's got the cloak. Yeah.
Oh, you mean the cape? You mean the cape?
Yeah.
No, it's a cloak.
They'll
call it a cape.
I like the way the U-wing kind of floats in that next scene just after it says this December. It kind of just settles down as people jump off it. Looks awesome.
The garrison, or the just jump straight out of it onto the beaches. Yeah. Now, is this the scene where they've said this? It's very much like the D-Day landings. Where you just see people just being cut down as they've just got to get to a certain place.
Yeah.
But also in the very next scene from that, Paul, is you see an awful lot of stormtroopers on the floor dead.
Yeah.
In fact, there's an awful lot of dead stormtroopers in the whole of this trailer.
It's like a Rambo body count type thing.
Yeah. That'd be something to see. You know what I mean?
Do you see the stormtrooper's helmet that's sticking out of that tank as he's driving it? Does the helmet look different?
Yeah, that's a different one. That's a new one.
Oh, talking about heads. Knowing that scene that you see with the tank, did you notice there's a character on the left that's got like he's like half naked sort of thing. He's got like robotic legs and pants, but he's got no head.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that. Where was that again?
It's just before Donnie Yen's character says about the Force. You see the tank rolling in, and you can actually see the neck brace moving as it's rotating, as in it's looking, but there's no head.
Oh yeah.
If you notice
so
that.
I mean about the collar twist, doesn't it?
Yeah, the collar twist, but there's no head.
That's weird. That is weird.
Maybe he might be like one of those like species where it has like a low neck and like a super low head.
If you notice on the collar as well, sorry to talk. It's like got aerials as well, where the aerials twist on top.
Oh, right, yeah.
As if he's being remotely controlled or something.
Yeah, that character that's got no head, I honestly thought it'd probably be a CG head. You know what I mean? That'd be placed on it.
Like an unfinished.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very possible.
And that aerial that you were looking at, Paul, is probably just the remote control for the neck movement sort of thing. But
could be.
Saying that, it looks like somebody's actually in it. So where's his head? You know what I mean? He just hasn't got a head.
One thing I'd like to, the tank, I don't know if it's the same thing, but it made me think of those tanks in Rebels. I think it might be a little smaller, but it kind of reminded me of that. I think it's interesting. It's going to be a serious film, but we always have to have the comic relief. And I think it's the droid, what is his name again?
Is it K2SO? Is it? Yeah.
Basically, it's like
The captain says you are a friend. I will not kill you.
Thanks.
So I thought that was some good comic relief. And I'm definitely going to be curious of what kind of droid, because he seems, we've seen these kind of droids from like the Clone Wars, Battlefront, where they're much, or not Battlefront, from Rebel, or maybe just from Clone Wars. They're much more combat like droids. We haven't really seen that as much. It's mainly just like in the Clone Wars, those assassin droids. This one reminds me a little bit of that what's that big droid that's like it's like a super strategist that's in the Clone Wars?
Don't know, Jonathan, but I can't think of the name of it now.
Kalani, super tactical droid.
That's it. See, Jonathan's really fast on the keyboard when he knows what he's looking.
Yeah.
Super fast. Funny enough, talking about this droid, Jason, would this droid be easy to draw?
Yeah, I'd love, and I'm actually, thinking about doing something with him. I love his worn out Imperial logo on his shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if he's been repurposed or programmed, or if the other character who, I mean, some of these rebels used to be Imperial, people.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm wondering if he just is following his commander, or if he's been repurposed.
You're absolutely correct. K2SO was repurposed by Captain Cassian Andor, which is Diego Luna. He reprogrammed him, so he's not, because he had a mind blight. He's not 100%, so he's not. His protocol is not that good, if you know what I mean. That's why he said, "Oh, I'm not going to kill you."
Well, it gives. I'm on the wiki, the Star Wars wiki, and it gives all his information, including his gender, which is masculine programming. So I thought that was interesting.
What? Why?
I don't know what that means. I guess it just means he has a male voice and talks like I don't know.
I'm actually more excited for that character than I am a lot of the other ones.
So he's an enforcer droid.
Did you also, talking about the badges, did you notice there's quite a few of these rebels that have got the insignia of the Empire? Did you notice that?
Yeah, and I think a lot of them, probably are wearing them because they're going to infiltrate. You know what I mean? So, but then again, a lot of them came from Imperial, ties.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questions there, but
the Empire had the Imperial Academy, didn't they? I think even Rebels is going to be using that sort of storyline for Wedge. He was trained by the Imperials to be a fighter pilot, as well as Han Solo, if I remember rightly. Han Solo used to be a cadet in the Imperial Academy as well.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, you're right. There's also a scene that I've seen in the trailer of them. It looks, when you first watch it, it looks like a sandstorm, but then when you re-watch it, it looks like something like a massive destruction.
That's definitely the weapons test, in my opinion, that they're going to do, and it could be on that planet with the temple.
Yeah,
it could be that, or it could also be like something crashing down onto the planet, like a Star Destroyer or something as well.
It
could be part of the battle or part of the big fight.
Yeah, you're right there. But I didn't
there
think
are
of that.
there are flashes of lightning in there, so if you
Are you talking about the scene? Are you talking about the scene like on the beach?
It's like a big wave coming over, isn't it? As Urso and Andor are in the U-wing, basically trying to get away from it.
Yeah, now looking at it again, Paul, it's something is actually coming down, and they're trying to beat it before it crushes them in the ship.
Yeah, you can see some electrical lightning.
Yeah.
I wonder that. This AT-AT or AT-AT, I grew up calling it, is taken. The head is, we know the head is like the weakest. I'm willing to bet that, after this series of battles, they probably up the armor because, this guy, he just takes out the head with the rocket launcher.
Yeah,
That's going
to be a really good scene in 3D. That is, that's going to be excellent.
Oh yeah, I just watched the Kylo Ren's reaction to the trailer. I don't know if you've seen that. It's hilarious, and he actually brings up a point about a ground-to-air missile strike on the AT-AT. He's all, why didn't they should have had those on Hoth? He laughed about, and they could have had a different outcome if they had those.
Yeah, what happened? That rocket launcher though, that looks pretty good. That character, Baz Melbus, his character, he has got some serious weaponry. Now, in his costume at Celebrations, you could see this massive chain gun that he had with him. It looked absolutely fantastic. Did you see that, Jason?
Mm-hmm.
Chain gun.
It's got all the like the bullet, the strap, the bullet straps coming out.
Yeah. I think I saw that somewhere.
Yeah, he's got some serious armor, and I think it's when he was on the Rogue One panel as well. He was discussing that his character is like a heavy weaponry character. Carries all the heavy stuff, and that fits his build straight away. Also, he did give away some spoilers. Did anyone hear about that?
I heard something about spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was at the panel. He was on the Rogue One panel, and literally every single person was sort of looking to Kathleen Kennedy to say, am I right? And she was like nodding. Of course, when it gets to him, he starts, and of course he starts off with my English is not that good, and then he starts talking, and then he says something, and everyone goes, did he just give away like a major part of the film? And then he quickly shuts up. I don't know. Do you want me to tell you what it is?
I already know.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I heard about it, but I didn't actually.
He and me was a partner, and he of course, believe in Force, but my character don't believe Force at that time. But I pretend all of them, not them, just them, to do very, very big mission. I cannot say that. And when this guy dead, I do something better. Maybe I believe by my action. He's thinker, I'm doer. So
I think you've got to leave it there.
Anyway,
and Donnie Young at the time just looked at him and went, huh? Plus, there's a big, massive sign behind Kathleen Kennedy saying, loose lips sink starships. And he just did it. They're like, shut him up. God, shut him up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Didn't Gwendolyn Christie come to his rescue?
She did.
Like, okay.
Yeah, she did. She was a really good host. Yeah, and plus, none of these people from Rogue One was signing, which was strange. They were there. Yeah, none of them was signing whatsoever. And they're all there as well. And Ben Mendelsohn, he actually turned up in costume, which looked fantastic. Now, speaking about this trailer, when it was played at Celebrations. Now, I was unlucky; I didn't get into the actual panel, so I was watching it on a screen. And then when this trailer was played, they just played the sizzle reel, and at the time we all went, oh wow, hey, we've just seen the same trailer twice, what's going on? And lo and behold, if you weren't in that room, you didn't see this trailer, which I thought was kind of unfair, guys, because we'd all paid our money, and some of us have got kids, so we couldn't be there at 2 or 3 in the morning to camp out to get tickets to go into that. So I was kind of disappointed with that.
Yeah, sorry to
Unfortunately, I did speak to some people who hadn't even booked any hotel rooms. They just slept on the queuing floor.
Well, they got fed.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, they did. I heard they got fed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pizzas at night, donuts in the morning.
Yeah. So, yeah, this trailer.
Actually, I had a couple more.
Go. Yeah.
If you don't mind. I guess one thing was the TIE fighter rising up. People compare that to Ezra seeing the TIE Advance with Vader on the top. I mean, obviously it's a different ship, but it just it was really cool because, we got some close-ups of TIE fighters in The Force Awakens, but to see this much detail really is a treat, I think, just to see the detail in this thing.
Jyn Erso on that shot there, she looks really determined to be doing something.
Yes.
As she's approaching it, she's obviously wounded. It looks like she's got a bad leg or something, and she's walking along.
She's limping, isn't she?
But she's advancing towards it with determination, and she's definitely got something planned for it.
That is a really cool scene.
That TIE fighter's on Scarif, isn't it? Yeah,
that is proper ocean planet. So
yeah. Well, they're going to see more. I mean, if you go to about 38 seconds in, that's clearly Yavin, isn't it? Yavin 4 with the Mayan temple-looking temples.
Well, I just like it's like what's his name? Diego Luna's character. Just kind of cool.
Andor.
Yeah. Just seeing Jyn Erso in the pilot seat, and he's like, oh, okay. It's just kind of the thing where it was just like he did like a double take, seeing that, okay, so I guess I'm cool to go on this ride or something. Just the way he looks at her and looks back.
Now, do you know that scene, Jason, where they're walking out in Yavin to the ships? That scene is actually in the same place they filmed the original scene in Star Wars of Yavin. So, so that's great, to take it back to where it was all filmed.
Yeah, and, when they do that, people go nuts. I mean, in the prequels, one of the biggest cheers people got was when they saw Princess Leia's ship, when they saw that interior shot of the hull. People flipped because they were like, hey, you brought something back for us,
Anything else, guys?
I'd just like to mention that this trailer's had over 500,000 views while we've started talking about it.
Yeah, it's at 4.944.
Over here, the one one I'm looking at is over 6 million views.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the Star Wars. I'm on the Star Wars.
Yeah, this one is as well. Yeah, Star Wars.
Huh.
Yeah.
It was at 5.5.
Oh, never mind. I just refreshed it.
That's it. Yeah. 6,030,000. Yeah. It's like
736.
It's got one of the fastest growing watchable clips on YouTube. Surely that's heading there for world record, isn't it?
How many down thumbs?
3,788.
3,000 people went, nah, don't like it.
But when you actually look at the thumbs up, there's not many compared to. It's only 146,000. Not a lot out of 6 million people, I guess. But
God. My God. So let's just nip right to the very end with the last shot, Darth Vader. What do you reckon, guys?
The money shot, yeah.
Money shot.
Yes.
Jason, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I already got a snapshot. It'll be my new cover piece on Facebook soon. It's a good teaser. You got the red in the in the background of the battle plans and the back of his head. You don't. I don't think you get any breathing, right? So
no,
there was a little bit. Yeah, right.
Was there a little bit?
Yeah, just there. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a great shot. I mean, I know we're probably only going to see him probably all of maybe a minute or two in the movie is my guess, but. I hear that he's supposed to be more ruthless than we've ever seen, so that's going to be cool.
The new person playing him, isn't it, Jamie?
Yes, it is, yes. Just before I go on about him, Jonathan, you were just about to say something?
Yeah, I think I heard this some other podcast, or someone say something about this, is the fact that some people, that aren't, the diehards like us, they might think, oh, this is episode 8, and I think that's part of their job. They have to make it clear that it's not. And I think, because the average person is going to be like, oh, just armor. But I think if you show Vader like this, I think that was important because they're like, oh, okay, Vader's alive, so it must be like before this original trilogy. I think that's like the biggest indicator.
That's going to help.
I think we see all these other obvious signs, but I think the average person might not understand that.
The biggest fear of Lucasfilm for Disney for this film is that people will go and think that it's episode 8. So you're dead right. With that showing that shot, puts that full stop that it is a prequel and Vader is in it. And also, Jason, you were saying about he's going to be more brutal. To what I've heard from various people and various podcasts and stuff like that, that you do see slightly more of him, and he's actually in full battle mode.
Oh, nice.
So I would like to see him, proper battlefront. Just going ahead and just killing an awful lot of people. Just want to see some death.
and, referring back to the Kylo Ren watching the trailer video that I saw, he says, and as a question, grandfather at the end of it, and he's all, who's playing grandfather? And then he says, it's Hayden Christensen, isn't it? And he's all, oh, God damn it. And he starts, doing his fit and destroys the console he's watching it on. It's hilarious. You gotta watch it. It was so fun.
You've all heard who might be playing Vader. We all know that James Earl Jones is actually going to be doing his voice, but have you heard who's actually playing the body of Vader?
No. Is it on YouTube or is it on IMDb? I don't know. No?
It is on IMDb.
It is?
Yeah, it's a guy called Spencer Wilding.
Oh yeah.
Now, I had the pleasure of meeting him a couple of times because he's been in the Harry Potter films. He's also been in Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, he is the alien that puts the headphones on.
The blue guy.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Right, that's him. Now, I've met him, and he is a very, very tall guy. I mean, really big. So you can understand why they've got this guy, because he's like really, really tall.
He's 6'7".
Very tall. And I had the pleasure of meeting him at the weekend at a Harry Potter convention. Now, I did the slightly sneaky thing. I actually had a Rogue One poster And I went over to his table, and there he had all his photos in front of him. And I said, can I have your autograph? And he says, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, what would you like it on? And I said, any chance you can sign this for me? And I put it on the table, and he immediately put his pen down, leaned back in his chair, and he says, I'm sorry, I can't.
Oh, what?
Right. And I said, why? He said, look, I just can't. He goes, I really can't. I'm sorry, I just can't. I said, well, there is a rumor that you're in it and you'll play Darth Vader. And he goes, I can neither confirm nor deny that I am in this film, right? And he goes, so I can't possibly sign this. He goes, anything else, mate, I'll sign it. But I can't sign that. And I was thinking, you sort of just confirm that you're in it because you're not signing it. You know what I mean? So in the end, I did get his signature, but on the Guardians of the Galaxy character. But I thought if I could get him to sign it, I could have been the first person to get him to sign something of Rogue One. I was like, come on, sign it! And I was like, sign it! But he wouldn't. He wouldn't sign it. Bless him.
That's too bad.
I know. You could just understand the power of Disney.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
You know?
Hammer.
Yeah, they were just. He knew that they were there watching him.
Should have had it folded up like an origami piece, and just like a small piece of paper. And when he signed it, you opened it up. Like
Ta-da!
90 folds, yeah.
Well, a bit of carbon paper over the top of it, so when he signs it, it goes straight through to that.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, so unfortunately I didn't get it, but I did get his autograph, like I say, but I didn't get it on the Rogue One, which dream come true about that.
I didn't get to go get any autographs at Celebration. I couldn't get away from my table through the whole show, which is a good thing. But I did manage to get Gareth Edwards' signature in my Star Wars book.
He came round the tables, didn't he?
Well, they had a special signing over in the art show, a stormtrooper walking in the water print. And he came over for about 2 hours and signed them all. At the end of it, I stopped him and just handed him the book with the pen, and he signed it for me. So, and I got Dave Filoni's signature also, and he drew a TIE Fighter helmet on the page that he signed.
He did.
For.
I saw that. I thought to myself, that was really cool.
He's like the only Star Wars person who comes to the art show every year, and he's, I respect him more for that, for sure.
Right then, so guys, now we've had a good chat about it. What did you think of it?
I think it overall, like I said at the beginning, it just kind of takes me back. I mean, I remember when we first saw that image of Jyn Erso with the crew, and total diverse crew. We got a droid, we have a blind guy, we have all sorts of different kinds of people that are all coming together for this one purpose. What their fate is in the end, only time will tell. So overall, I'm really excited just to kind of get this band of rebels. Very different than we really won't be getting any Force users, or at least not the Force being used, except for Vader, of course. Donnie Yen's character is still up in the air; it's still a little mysterious. But I think it's just cool that this is just, it's in the same universe, but it's just totally separated. And I'm curious what kind of connections will be to Rebels.
It's pretty much what Jonathan's just said, actually. Yeah, and how it's a more serious Star Wars film. It's not as light-hearted as the previous ones. So it does add a bit more for some new viewers to sit and watch it. So it does look really good.
Jason?
I always have high hopes for Star Wars movies, but I never hold my breath because we've been let down a few times. But this is always, since the Rogue One has even been spoken of, and we knew Gareth Edwards was going to direct it, I've had my high hopes and I've kept it. And I have a feeling this is going to be the best Star Wars movie that's been made. Even though we don't have, the Jedi like we normally do, we have a lot of what people have been wanting, and that's stormtroopers and something a little more gritty. And I think they're finally bringing it to us. So
yeah, I'll agree with that. Now, my own personal view for this trailer is a couple of things. My expectations from this trailer itself was like, wow, I can't wait for more of this. This the look, the feel. I'm so excited about it, and I also have to say that you guys hear the music that was playing through it. I wonder if that's the Alexander Desplat's part of his score, because I know sometimes people who do the trailer music are not exactly the people who do the actual scores for the films. It sounded really, really good, and that gave me chills listening to that.
Ties in all the atmosphere together, doesn't it?
Yeah, the atmosphere, it was just a well put together trailer in my eyes, and especially I have to say, a big shout out to the way Disney have been handling these trailers, is that they give you enough but don't spoil it. So I'm really looking forward to it myself.
I say I think, obviously me being quite new to the franchise, I think this film will be the one that will grab me. The previous one, I really like the previous one. But this one, bringing it as a prequel, I think will grab me.
I just hope that once they've done this, they'll rethink, let's remake Battle for Endor.
Yeah. Let's re-CGI.
Just think.
Jabba.
Yeah, just think. The Battle of Endor, Gareth Edwards style. It could be mental. Just could be mental.
Yeah, well, it could make some people go mental. So I don't know about that. No offense. No offense to people.
Wait,
anyway.
Well, yeah, when you think about spin-off films, in our eyes, the only spin-off films really that we can compare to is the two Ewok films and the holiday special. So this is gonna be good. Just for the trailers, it's gonna be better than them. And also remember, this is full trailer 1, you could say, because you've had your teaser trailer. So this is the proper trailer number 1, and usually before the film comes out, you'll have 2 more trailers.
Right.
By tomorrow, there will be probably someone who's taken trailer 1 and 2 and the behind-the-scenes footage and trying to put them all together in the order that they feel will depict the movie. So
yes.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing that.
Yes. Some people do that, and I bet you're dead right, Jason. I bet people are on that right now. Now we ran a competition, didn't we, Paul?
We did, yes. We did.
For our last podcast, where if you liked it and shared it, you would win an exclusive print from our good buddy Jason W.Chrisman. Thank you, Jason, for giving us the opportunity to give them out. And we have got 2 winners now. If you are these winners, you will get an exclusive print from Jason. So the winners are Mark Cornwall and Fiona James. And I've got a special shout out as well to Sarah Madhouse. She also would have won a poster, but I traded her a poster for her Star Wars crew t-shirt. She was actually in a queue for the Harry Potter platform 9 3/4 shot. So I walked over to her and went, I want your shirt. And she went, you can have it. And I was like, well, now? And she goes, yeah. So she reached in a bag and she had one. And I says, oh, what size is it? And she said, it was XXL. So I went, great, I'll have it. So she gave it to me. And then she looked, she went, oh, I'm sorry, it's only small. I went, never mind, I'll have it. So she gave it to me. And then I went back over to where I was sitting because our train was delayed. And I took one of your prints out, Jason, and I presented it to her. And I said, this is for you, Sarah, for giving me a swap. It's only fair that I swapped something to you. So she unraveled it, and she looked at it, and she almost broke down in tears.
Oh, wow.
I said, what's up? And she says, he is my favourite artist at Celebrations. I was looking at his artwork, and I really wanted to buy one. Yeah, she says she really wanted to buy one off you, Jason. And I think she even came over to you and said, would you be doing them any cheaper towards the end of the day? And I think you did say something on the lines, well, come back to me and at the end, and I'll see what I can do for you. But unfortunately, she got called away, as they do, to do the closing and stuff. So she missed you, so she couldn't go back to you, so she didn't get one off you. And then lo and behold, there we was in King Cross Station. She was there, I was there, and I traded her one and it made her day.
That's awesome.
Isn't it? So she was really happy. So, and she's also shared and liked the show as well. So she would have won one. as well. But she's already got one. So the two winners that I've picked is Fiona James and Mark Cornwall. They liked and shared the show, and so we give them big thumbs up because it's great when people interact with us.
Fiona's gone that extra yard, and she's actually brought a T-shirt as well.
She bought a T-shirt. Yes, she did. She went out and also purchased a T-shirt. Those two people definitely get my thumbs up, because they, like I say, they liked and shared the show, which is fantastic.
Thanks very much.
So, finishing up here then, guys, I also have to thank you, Jason, for coming on. Jonathon, it was brilliant to chat to you again.
And thanks for accepting my friend request, John. I think we were friends before, but I recently did a purge, and you may have fallen into that category, so I apologize for that.
It's all good.
Yeah, it is. I just also want to say one other thing as well that's coming up for Radio Free Endor is that there's a convention happening down in England because we get all the good conventions up, right? Is a convention called UltraCon, and they've just recently announced that their biggest display that they're going to be there is going to be the Millennium Falcon. Now they are building a life-size part of the Falcon, so us punters can actually go up the ramp, sit in the cockpit, and have our photos taken.
Lucky.
Yeah, they're building the whole thing. Now, I've reached out to UltraCon to see if me and Paul can have a set visit to see it being constructed. But whatever happens, me and Paul will be going to that convention, so we'll be getting some photos and speaking to the people that built it. So that's one thing for the future to look out for.
Great. Looking forward to hearing it.
Great. So thanks, guys, for coming on. And
thank you.
Jonathon, where can the listeners contact you?
All right. Twitter and Instagram at Jedi Master J-Bell.
Okay. Jason, where can the listeners reach you?
I am Jason W.Chrisman on Twitter and Star Wars Artist on Instagram.
Cool. So thank you, Jonathon. Thank you, Jason, for joining us.
Thank you.
It's been absolutely a buzz. It's been brilliant. I love doing these shows when we can all have a quick chat about stuff like this. And as these trailers will come down, we will also do more. Well, that was a great roundtable session we've just done, wasn't it, Paul?
It was.
And it was great to have Jason and Jonathon for the simple fact is they're really, really busy. Now, while we were recording that, the international trailer dropped. So me and Paul had a quick view over that. And there was some minor changes, wasn't it, Paul?
Yeah, very minor, but, worth noting all the same.
Yeah, like the music was slightly different, and also some dialogue. Now we've took the liberty of condensing the dialogue that's not in the normal trailer, but is in the international trailer. So here it is.
The world is coming undone. Imperial flags reign across the galaxy.
We have intercepted a coded Imperial transmission. It indicates that a major weapons test is imminent.
The message was sent by your father.
We need to know what it is and how to destroy it.
This is our chance to make a real difference.
There is some changes, like you can still hear Forrest Whitaker talking from the previous teaser trailer, but if you remember how he looked, he had a bald head, didn't he, Paul?
He did, yes.
In this one, he had a bit of a fuzz on. Well, apparently they're from reshoots, so he's not going to actually look like that in the finished film. I
actually heard about that. It was one of the worries, wasn't it, about the reshoots taking place, the amount of reshoots.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about the reshoots, but there again, all films have reshoots. It's just that we don't hear much about it, but because it's Star Wars, it's all in jeopardy. You know what I mean? But it's not. It happens with most films, so I'm not particularly that worried. From the trailers that I've seen, I am not worried. I'm really looking forward to this film. I can't wait for December.
Nice early Christmas present, yeah.
Oh, it will be. I'll tell you what will be even nicer as a Christmas present if I get the PlayStation VR so I can play because the X-Wing mission is actually now called the Rogue One X-Wing mission now.
Oh, okay. So they changed it again,
yeah, they've changed it. So if I've got the readies, you know what I mean, I really won't mind it, but it's a lot of money in it, Paul.
It is, yeah. I think you're kind of on the fence as well. You've experienced the high end PC side of it, haven't you? So
yeah.
If it's gonna be anything like that, then By the sounds of how you experience the PC version of things, then it sounds like you're going to really enjoy it.
Yeah, true. On the next podcast, what we'll do is I did actually record some audio of when we was at Star Wars Celebrations, but you've probably heard it, listeners, all before on the many podcasts that are out there. But there is certain sections that I did record about, and one of them was the X-Labs VR missions, which me and my wife Nikki had to go on, which was superb. It was fantastic. So anyway, get back up to the international trailer. I thought the music was really good in this one. It was totally different from the previous trailer, and there was some just minor footage changes, but nothing really, from the last one. It's just the audio dialogue, really. I thought. Yeah,
that's all I really kind of picked up from it. Just slightly longer sequences in certain areas. Just that extra bit of dialogue, as you said. Yeah.
Yeah, true. So that was the international trailers, and remember, there's still more to come, so it'll be good on that. Now, also, as we was recording this podcast, some sad news came in that the great movie actor, I think, Kenny Baker, who played R2-D2 in all 6 Star Wars films, passed away at the age of 81. Now, he was only 11 days away from his 82nd birthday, which is kind of sad, but 81 years for a small person. I hate the word midget, I really do, but for a small person, 81 years is not bad.
It's
you know
not
what I mean?
bad at all, no.
It's not bad, considering that he was told that he probably wouldn't reach the end of his teens. So he's lived a fantastic life. And if you have the chance to look at his Wikipedia or his IMDb, have a look at the body of work he did. He did a lot of work, didn't he, Paul? You've had a look.
Yeah, he did an awful lot. I didn't actually realise he was in Labyrinth. Things like that, Time Bandits, one of your films that you really like, isn't it? Willow.
I do, yeah. Willow.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah, Flash Gordon as well, yeah. He was. I liked it. Time Bandits is one of my favourite films. I really did enjoy that, and I think it was because the lead actor, the little lad, I think his name was Colin Woodnock. I could be wrong on that. He was exactly the same age as me. He was born like a month or 2 months before me, so I was at the same age as he was in that film. And of course, fantasy was my thing when I was that age. So it really did resonate with me that I really wish I had these band of thieves around me going from time to time. It was just a really good adventure film. And Kenny Baker in that film is fantastic. And there is one section in that, Paul, where his character, Fidget, is killed in that film. And one of the bandits, Wally, now he was played by Jack Purvis, which was the other half of the double act with Kenny Baker of the Minitones. And there is some interviews out there with
Terry Gilliam.
Yeah. There is an interview out there with Terry Gilliam talking about Time Bandits, and he actually says that because they were partners in real life, that death and the way that Jack Purvis really portrayed, Fidget's dead, and the anger from it was something very, very personal and very, very deep between them. And that's what made that scene absolutely fantastic. And of course, it had a happy ending. Fidget wasn't dead. The Supreme Being saved him. So it was fantastic. I love that film. I really do like to have it. If you get a chance, listeners, go out and rent yourself a copy of Time Bandits. It is quality stuff. And of course, it's done by the Monty Python team as well. So there's some seriously funny parts in it. Back in Leicester, I've got a friend who was also a small person, and she often told me that her dad, who was a small person, had often hung around with Jack Purvis and Kenny Baker in the olden days around the social scene, and they had such a time. And you can see out on some of the YouTube videos that are out there of them there. And there's one I think it's at Butlins. Somebody's actually filmed it at Butlins, and they're having a whale of a time. It's so good. Now, for me, it's a real tragedy that he's passed away, because R2-D2 was my favourite. I've got no end of R2-D2s around my house, and to see that he's actually gone, it's so saddening. It feels like a member of my family's gone, because he's also one of the original one of the original crew to die. And it's sad. It is sad, but like I say, he's lived a very long life. I've met him a couple of times and chatted to him. Unfortunately, I wasn't doing a podcast then. I just met him as a fan, and I chatted to him and had a bit of a laugh and joke with him every time I met him. Such a gentleman. He was such a gentleman, and bless him, he'd sign anything for you, and he always had a tale to tell. Fantastic, but he will be surely missed in the whole community of Star Wars, and he will be missed by myself 100%.
That's a sad thing, yes, definitely. It was also he actually met some great comedians, didn't he, as well, in his time? Actually worked with a lot of comedians, and he met Lauren Hardy as well, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, he did. Now, for our friends across the pond, a lot of these stars that he met are from old Showtime in England. So you've got people like Dickie Henderson, Leslie Crowther, Ken Dodd, Little and Large, Russ Abbott, Ben Elton, Dick Emery, and Dave Allen. And also he's been on 3-2-1 and Opportunity Knocks. Now, there is some footage out there of him on 3-2-1 as well. You've really got to search for it, but there's some real good stuff out there. And just to see him act, out of the suit, he's fantastic. Him and Jack Purvis, they were a fantastic team and very, very funny. Very, very funny.
What did Jack Purvis do? Was he was part of Star Wars as well, wasn't he?
Yes, Purvis? He was. Originally, to what I've listened, is that when George Lucas wanted Kenny Baker to be R2-D2, he didn't want to break up the mini-tones, and Jack Purvis was, his partner. So basically, George Lucas said, "Okay, fair enough, I'll give him a part in the film as well." So that was good, and he's been in all of the films as well. I don't know if he was in any of the prequels. Jack Purvis was in any of the prequels, but I definitely know he was in Star Wars Empire and Jedi. And also, Kenny Baker actually played one of my favourite Ewoks, Papaloo, and he was the one that stole the speeder bike in Return of the Jedi. And there's some interviews out there where he's talking about when he was in the Papaloo Ewok outfit and with the eyes and the scene. So hopefully what we'll do, Paul, is that we'll try and gather all this information up, and we'll do a special show on Kenny Baker in the near future to see if we'll try and grab as many interviews as we can around the net and put them all together, so our listeners have got a place to go where they can actually hear him talking and
kind of put it under one roof, so to speak.
Yeah, sharing his memoirs to our loyal friends. So that was Kenny Baker that passed away at 81. And us here at Radio Free Endor pass our condolences to his family and friends. Now, earlier on in the podcast, remember that we gave out the names of the winners of the fantastic artwork by W.Chrisman. Now, just to remind you, the two winners are Fiona James and Mark Cornwall. Now, you two will only have to send us your address to our email address, radiofreeendor@gmail.com. We will send you your prize, and then hopefully you'll be able to post a picture of you holding it on our social media. That'd be great.
It would, yes, it would.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Speaking of fans and people who like this show, I've been branded the Carl Pilkington of the podcast, I think.
Yes, Paul has got his very own fan. He's got his very own fan who's often sent messages through her husband. She's not sent any herself. Yeah, she's not sent any herself. But her name is Vicky K. So I did promise that she would get a very special hello from our good man Paul.
Hello, Vicky K.
Yes. That's Paul, just for you. Special message.
And if people out there don't know who Carl Pilkington is, just search on the internet for An Idiot Abroad, and that's me. I got the same hairdo as well.
Yeah, an idiot on the mic. Hey, hold on, that's me.
I'm just an idiot.
I'm gonna say, I always say that, and I'm looking at a mirror for some strange reason. Yeah. That's great. Well, that brings us to the end of another fantastic episode of Radio Free Endor. Paul, any final thoughts on what we've been doing today?
Yeah, it's been a good podcast, and you've had your first chance at getting this one edited yourself, more or less, haven't you? So all this little undertone music underneath, it's all been added by yourself. So
yes,
well
it has took me. I've been really, really quick on it. It's only took me 20 days.
I think you've seen the gravity now of what's involved. Really.
Yeah, how these people do one a week, I do not know. But hopefully, once we get it all done and all stitched together and posted, we will also be launching this podcast on YouTube as well. So have a look for Radio Free Endor on YouTube, and hopefully you'll be able to get this very own podcast on that. It'd be episode 8. It'd be the very first one. If I do get a chance, I'll try and put the previous podcasts onto YouTube, so you'll be able to listen to them.
A bit of an archive. Yeah.
Yes, that'd be good. Yeah, have a bit of an archive on YouTube. So we'll give that a go. So all it leaves me now is to say a big thank you to Jason, a big thank you to Jonathan, a big thank you to Paul, and a big thank you to R2 for being on my shelf and looking at me all these years. No, BB-8, I'm not talking to you. You can stay at the back. I've got R2 now. Right? So remember, you can show your love for this podcast with an official Radio Free Endor t-shirt available at TeePublic. Also, iTunes is the best place to download us. And while you're there, please leave us a 5-star review, because we like 5-star reviews, don't we, Paul?
We do, absolutely.
Yes. And you can also reach us on our social media. So search for us on Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, and on Facebook, and soon YouTube. We are at Radio Free Endor. You can find me at Jamie_R_Burns, and you can find Paul at
CutAndRun22 on Twitter and Facebook at CutAndRun_RFE.
And our email is radiofreeendor@gmail.com. So it just leaves me to say good night from me, and good night from
me. Good night.
Good night.
Grandfather? Wait, who is playing Grandfather? Is that Hayden? Oh my god, it's Hayden, isn't it? Why would they do this to me? Why would they? I'm all the people for the wrong